and updates, things that you should be aware about from a web standpoint. And first up is the top post this week from our blog, and that is the changes coming up with iOS 14 and privacy and what that means for Facebook advertisers. Okay, so in short, Apple, with their release of iOS 14 in September, began to make some changes, and one of those changes is going to impact Facebook advertisers in a big way. So on the personal side, it's a good thing for privacy. So Apple is going to make this update so that any advertiser, such as a Facebook advertiser, needs to require the user's explicit permission to get their device, mobile phone, IDFA, which basically allows them to send location information to deliver relevant ads based on your location. Okay, so location marketing, not new, not something that many people have thought about too much, but you've wondered, hey, why I get ads like this way when I'm on vacation? They seem to be kind of know where I'm at. They do know where you're at. However, going forward, Apple is saying that we're going to require advertisers to ask you for your permission. So that's going to come up with a rollout here in 2021 for those using iOS 14, one of the updates within that, and you'll have the option. Now, what it's assumed is that a lot of us are going to opt out. No, I don't want you to track me. And so therefore that kind of cuts the line off. And so you, from a business standpoint, as a Facebook advertiser, are going to have less of a audience that you'll be able to target based on location of that user's device, their mobile phone. And therefore Facebook advertising may not be as valuable kind of going forward. So that's kind of both sides of it. From a privacy standpoint, as a personal user, probably a good thing. From a business standpoint of a Facebook advertiser, trying to reach people on a mobile device by location, you are going to have some more trouble doing that. And so just be aware of that from a Facebook advertising standpoint there. So that continues to change. And when's the date? Don't know exactly. Early 2021 is kind of what we've heard from Apple. So probably first quarter. And you'll need to kind of evaluate, what that does to some of your reach of your ads. Or can you reach the same amount of people? What do you have to do? So you want to watch some of your Facebook ad statistics. Now, is advertising continuing to be valuable? Yes, absolutely. I mean, just think about this from a Google Ads, Facebook ads standpoint. Let's say that you can sell a product that is, $800, right? Okay. So if you need to spend $300 in a month on Google Ads, let's say you spend $400 in Google Ads, but you can increase your sales of that $800 product by 2 times more. Okay, that would be $1,600. So that cost of $300, $400 in ad spend generated $1,600 in new sales, net gain, right? And typically that can be, hopefully that's just a small percentage. I mean, typically maybe if you invest $500 and then you can see a return, maybe you sold 4 more, okay, at $800, that's $3,200. That is, so we need to take a look at some of these statistics and match those things. You need to be able to track your ads to an actual sale, and then you need to evaluate what your sale is. So for somebody selling a $50 item, for instance, and then their ad spend is going to be $500 in a month, how many of those items do they need to sell to have a net gain, a positive impact? And so it can still be possible, but that's what you need to watch in those things. Now, for some people who have a bigger ticket item, and if they can spend $500 and get one more sale, which is $4,000, Boom, makes sense, right? So take a look at those things in your ads, but and just know the different types of ads. So with Google, you're largely doing search ads. Okay, so that is someone is actively searching for a term that you're paying to show up for. You know, a something related to your product or the solution that your product solves, or a question that you can answer, your product answers. And that's what Google search is for. Those people actively searching for something. Google also does have display where they can be on, ads that show up in different websites, a newspaper, a blog, that type of piece. But think of Google largely in terms of people are searching for it, show up and they're searching for it. That's a good thing because it means they're actively seeking a solution for it. Facebook, on the other hand, is more display oriented because people aren't necessarily searching for Facebook and getting an ad. Facebook is targeting a specific demographic that you want to appear for, because you've determined that people that buy my product are X, Y, and Z, and all those characteristics. I want to find that characteristic, that type of personality profile on Facebook. I want to show up for your ad to them, right? So, and then there's also kinds of retargeting things. Have you ever noticed that, where you have looked at some type of product on one website, and then you're on Facebook and you suddenly begin getting ads for competitors of that, and you say, what is that? How did they do that kind of piece there? So there is, there's data sharing pieces there. There's tracking pieces. There's retargeting pieces. Multiple pieces going on. So that's what Facebook can do for you in that regard. So is advertising valuable? Paid advertising absolutely can be. You need to evaluate some of these criteria pieces that I've talked about: who you want to reach, how you want to reach them, what you need to generate in order for that to be profitable, and then track those pieces. Okay, so that's a key change with the iOS that's coming up that I wanted to talk about today. And also then, the continuing shift to business online. So have you evaluated this year and made those commitments to upgrade what you're doing to sell your products, your e-commerce thing? Do you need to have payment plans like Klarna that we talked about a week ago on your site? Do you need to Google's going to roll out their page experience update this year, which talks about the experience the user has on your website impacts how your site ranks. And so, are you giving a good experience on your website? Number one, does it load quickly? Does it give quick information? Is there no pop-ups that are distracting or blocking you from doing something, particularly on a mobile device? All of those things are important. So we had a manufacturer reach out to us yesterday and wants to talk about their website and a dealer portal. And I went over to their website, and there was this kind of loading bar, and it kept going, and it kept going, and it kept going, and I could not believe it. And it took like 10 seconds for something to come up. And then when it came up, it was great. Had a video in there and that type of thing. And I thought, oh my word, though, how many people are gonna wait for that? I thought, well, that's weird. And maybe that's just the home page. Clicked on the about page, loading thing again, the bar. Okay, not good. You do not want to have. I mean, they're talking about like less than 3 seconds now as an important piece there. So speed is important. Content is important. User experience, ease of navigation, particularly mobile, for mobile users, all important. So you cannot just sit still on your website. You need to be taking a look at those things. Other factors are for being found online is your Google business page, Google local business page. And one way to boost that is to get more positive reviews. The more reviews, the more you respond to reviews, the more that ranks higher for your company's name and category of service on Google. So not just your website, but also your Google local page, what shows up in the Google search results. And then the other tool that's becoming more important is ADA compliance, giving people with some type of disability limitation equal access to all features of your site. No sites are built ADA compliant By default, it has to be something that is built in, added onto, and we have a tool that we can add that onto a site and make it accessible. So again, it's simple things like someone has some visual impairment and they need larger font size. Well, giving them a tool where they can click a few buttons and blow up the font size. Maybe they're having color differences. They can change things because other colors they can't see, that distracts them, or whatever that might be. Being able to do those things, ADA compliance tools like what we use with Accessibility, we're a partner that we can apply to the website and make that possible. So those are key updates to take a look at. This is January. You need to be thinking about how you get things in motion here for your year and on the web. And now is the time to get some pieces in motion, break it down. What is one simple action, two simple actions I need to get in touch with, get in motion this week, so that I'm not falling behind and track of these pieces to keep my website, my marketing, my digital marketing, my ads relevant, on target, active, performing for me this year for your business. All right. So this was Mike with Live with Mike. That's what I wanted to cover today. We'll see you again next time. Take care.